One thing that keeps people hooked on to the story of One Piece is the world building and the corresponding mysteries that come with it. Things like the Will of D, the Void Century, the ancient weapons, the origination of the devil fruits are some of the persistent mysteries that drive the story arcs forward. We have little to no clue as to what the real history of the world in One Piece really is, partially because very few remain in the story who have any idea about it or are simply unwilling to tell. With the introduction of Oden and the developments that he sailed with Whitebeard and most likely found the One Piece with Roger, as well as coming from a clan who not only understand the ancient writings of the poneglyphs but were actually responsible for making them, suddenly the door to unveiling the mysteries of the One Piece world opens up. With Oden unable to have passed his knowledge down to his underlings and his children about the poneglyphs, the information in his flashback is going to provide some big revelations about the mysteries of the One Piece world. It appears that we are starting the Oden flashback when he was 18 years old, 41 years ago. At this point, he was a rebel kid in Wano who desperately wanted a way out of his country. I expect to see the original culture of Wano from this part of the flashback when the land was uncorrupted by the factories and people were relatively very happy. We might also get some information about Orochi here and what eventually led him to become the traitor that he later turned out to be. We still have to get introduced to the remaining 7 scabbards here, so it is likely that we will stay with Yasui for a while and see how Oden recruited the samurais to work with him. So far, no mention of Lady Toki has come up, so it remains to be seen when Oden met her. So I think that the initial part of the flashback would cover Oden recruiting the young scabbards while in exile. We will also see his fight with Ashura Doji and Oden ultimately receiving his loyalty. I imagine that Oden joining Whitebeard would come soon after, and that would be the gateway for him to finally leave the country. And this is where the first part of the flashback would stop and we would go back to the current storyline. It's just a speculation. However, I also wouldn't mind if the entire flashback happened in one go. The flashback of Oden's time with Roger would carry more information on the Void Century and the Will of D, but I think some of those bits would be shown during the Roger's flashback and not during Oden's. Earlier I thought that we might get some more information about the God Valley incident in Oden's flashback, but the more I think about it, the more I feel that it would be shown in Roger's flashback. One thing is very clear for me though, and that is after this flashback we will definitely have more definite understanding of the history of One Piece world and what the poneglyphs say than we had before this flashback. We will also know why the country of Wano has been kept closed off from the rest of the world for a while. Aside from all the info dump, I think this flashback would also be an emotional roller coaster. Oden has been set up to be the heroic man who lived with gusto and met his end in a heartbreaking way. I fully believe that this would go down as one of the best, if not the best flashbacks in the story of One Piece. What do you guys think about it? Let's discuss in the comment section below. See ya later.